Friend, Shabbat Shalom to everyone. For the time being, I'm not doing any more prayers. No, because I have other things to talk about. I do more than one thing. I can do other things besides explaining prayers. What'd you say? So should I sit down? Should I go down and sit and cry, ashamed of my failures?
No, I'm ready for what you got.
Okay, fine. Just kidding. An essential part of the Yamim Noraim, the high holidays, is the Day of Awe, which is about apology. And we live in a world of fake apologies. On a daily basis, we see celebrities and politicians and business leaders and heads of state not just refusing to apologize and take responsibility for their actions, but giving non-apologies, the appearance of an apology. And I think this issue is so important as we try to get into the mindset of the high holidays. Because as we know, the high holidays are not 2 days. There are 40-day periods starting in Elul, the beginning of Elul, which we're in the middle of. So this is a period of like 40 days of apologizing. And if you don't apologize in those 40 days, then you can do it the rest of the year. So this thing is good all the time. Non-apologies often puts the blame on the victims or critics of the perpetrator because of the unstated implication, and this is what you're really saying. If anyone is stupid or too insensitive to be offended by what I did, then I guess I apologize, but only because their unreasonableness forces me to do so to make the problem go away. That's basically what people are saying. This illustrates a lack of empathy. It shows insincerity, a refusal to take personal responsibility for their actions. Non-apologizers manipulate language to give the appearance of an apology. And yet, non-apology is forced apology in which, in the end, there's no acceptance of blame and responsibility. It's what I call a lying apology. In a non-apology, the person at fault shows no real remorse for the wrongdoing and instead makes excuses and makes themselves appear to be a victim. In a non-apology, the offending actions are not clearly described and are instead only hinted at. A non-apology is damage control at its worst. To be truly apologetic, the words asking for forgiveness has to be accompanied with a sincere and with a sincerity and with a sense of how the offender will act differently in the future. Now, here is my list of non-apologies, and I'm sure some of them will resonate, and I was helped by this author, Ray Williams, who wrote a book called Virtuous Leadership, The Character Secrets of Great Leaders. Okay. So, here are some of the common forms of non-apology. And if you've ever done these, take it to heart and get better. Okay. Number 1, I want to apologize. It's no more an apology than I want to win the lottery is winning the lottery. It implies that the actual apology will occur somehow in the future, not actually take place in the present. Number 2, I'm sorry that you. For example, I'm sorry you were offended. I'm sorry you feel hurt. I'm sorry you think I did something wrong. I'm sorry your feelings are hurt. It's a way to emotionally abuse another person. and victim blame them for basically having feelings. This is blame-shifting apology. It puts the burden on the victim as the problem, not the perpetrator. These imply that injured party may be too sensitive, and the problem is their perception of what happens. This one, I really don't like that one. Not that I like the other apologies, but this is, I get it. This is another one I hate. This could be the worst one. It could be. I'm sorry if. I mean, that's the worst one. I apologize if anyone was offended. I'm sorry if I did anything wrong. I'm sorry if you took it that way. I'm sorry if you were offended. This is a conditional apology. It falls short of a full apology by suggesting only that something might have happened. Politicians love this kind of apology. These no. I think that's my favorite one we shouldn't do, but every one of them will. Maybe I so resonate with all of my sins here that all of them are resonating with me. I'm sorry, but. This is an excuse-making apology. It does nothing to heal the wounds caused. For example, I'm sorry, but most other people wouldn't have overreacted like you did. I'm sorry, but other people thought it was funny. I'm sorry, but you started it. I'm sorry, but there was truth to what I said. Oh boy, what kind of apology is that? I'm sorry, but you can't expect perfection. Okay, here's another one. I was just. They're getting more complicated. This is a justifying non-apology. It seeks to argue that hurtful behavior was okay because it was harmless or for the good cause. Example, I was just kidding, I was just trying to help. No, you weren't. Oh, this is not a good one. And this is a real interesting, there's a real interesting nuance here. I regret. This is a sidestepping apology. It equates regret with apologizing. They're not the same. There is no acceptance of responsibility by the transgressor. Example, I regret you felt upset. I regret that mistakes were made. I mean, if anyone says any of these things, you just punch them in the face. I'm not advocating in a metaphorical way, of course. We wrote Dave Shalom, we're pursuers of peace. However, but, oh man, okay, let's keep going. I'm sorry for what I said. That doesn't reflect who I really am. Yes, it does. You said it. This does not portray the repentance needed for an authentic apology. It excuses the perpetrator by giving an excuse for the transgression. Oh, but wait a minute, okay. I'm sorry for what I said. End of the topic. Who cares what it reflects or not? If I say something to Glenn that is painful, oh, it wasn't really my intention, he's still hurt. I would never say anything bad to Glenn, of course. That's a lie, of course. Okay. Mistakes were made. It's a rhetorical device, of course, whereby the speaker acknowledges a situation was poorly handled or inappropriately, but seeks to evade any direct admission or accusation of responsibility by using the passive voice. Mistakes were made. By, by me. Acknowledgement of mistakes is framed in an abstract sense with no direct reference to who made the mistake. I have more. Can I keep going? Yeah. Okay. I thought this was a good high holiday warm-up. Yeah. Oh, God, this is so manipulative. I'm suffering for the mistake I made. I've really been upset over what I did. I'm losing sleep over this. I called you an idiot, but I've been under a lot of stress. So this is where it puts the focus on the transgressor's well-being and asks the offending party to show compassion. Oh my God. I could come up with some stupid statement like that. I can imagine myself saying that. Everybody makes mistakes and I'm not perfect. This is an apology. Again, it's avoiding personal responsibility by retracting the responsibility onto others. I've said this. I hope you won't hold this against me. Has anyone ever said that? Come on, admit it. Yeah, I mean, probably. Come on. I hope it's been... Mistakes have been made. Okay. You know, that's a passive aggressive. It's passive aggressive at best. Oh, this is such a not good apology. This is the last one, though. I'm sorry, but there are two sides to this. I'm sorry, but I'm not the only one to blame here. It takes two to tango. I'm sorry, but I'm not the only one responsible. I'm sorry, but you played a part in this too. I mean, these are not apologies. This shifts the blame back onto the receiver and refuses to even try and understand their emotions and feelings. So here's my experience. I don't know if it's your experience. I believe when one truly apologizes, people frequently accept it. I want to phrase that. People frequently accept it. Most of us like candor, and we like to be told the truth. Those who don't, there's nothing that we can do about it, and we should just move on. I mean, we know in Jewish tradition, you ask for apology 3 times, and then if it doesn't, you don't do it. I mean, in the laws of repentance, it's the other person's sin. Now, and I use that method. There are a lot of people who don't like me, but I apologize 3 times, and what am I going to do about it? Friends, we are in a period of repentance. This is the month of Elul, and Judaism demands sincerity and responsibility. And when attempting tshuva, the practice of repentance, if we do not follow the true intent of confession and apology, the whole process is like a pseudo process. We make a mockery of our tradition. Our tradition is wonderful, yet it is demanding. And we're not allowed to, our tradition says, be honest. Just be truthful. But what in life is worthwhile if it's not demanding? I mean, you can go to the high holiday, say, I'm coming to Friday, I'm coming Rosh Hashanah, maybe I'll come Rosh Hashanah day, blah, 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 blah. But if it's not taken with the kind of sincerity and honesty that the tradition demands, we're just missing the boat. Now, I'm not saying it's easy to do any of this, and I'm not saying that all of us, in one way or another, sometimes fall into this. But it seems to me our goal in the high holidays is to be cognizant of how we do fail to apologize and to try to work on it. And laugh at it, of course, but laugh at it in a way that you're actually going to do something about it. Judaism is a serious religion. Let us take it seriously. It really works when we do it right. Shabbat Shalom.